Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 109. When we last left our heroes, we were continuing our investigation of the underwater world of Red Cave after we saw the downed escape pod and the corpse, the old corpse. Rebecca noticed the words Nadia, the love of my life, inscribed in the escape pod, but the gang then went into the abandoned town where they saw the temple to Mother. They were attacked by an octopus monster for a little while. It was thankfully not as horny as I was scared it was going to be. But Shiki was a little confused on how to use his powers underwater until he just kind of rocketed up out of the water and then smashed down on it, which did not kill the monster, but were able to run away to the temple where they met the guardian of the temple, Nadia. So yeah, let's jump right on into chapter 109, Red Cave, which will hopefully give us some answers as to what exactly is going on this arc. Our picture here is Shiki in armor that's kind of reminiscent of the army, honestly, but he's very clearly in the Aoi cosmos, as we can see all of the fish behind him. And so we open right where we left off with Nadia, just looking at them. And Shiki, freaks out. A sea person? But Homura corrects him. She is an android. And Y is already hard eyes. And a total babe. And then Rebecca flashes back to what she saw in the escape pod. Nadia, the love of my life. Nadia. And Pino kind of asks for forgiveness. Pardon our intrusion. I'm happy. He just goes for it. Nadia looks at them. Oh, you are new models. I am an old model. I have no hospitality to offer, but if you are here, you can only be looking for one thing, correct? And Shiki immediately picks up on what she's asking. Then you do have clues? Clues to finding Mother? Yes. And Shiki kind of freaks out. Whoa! Wonderful that we should find them so quickly. That's Homura, but Wise kind of dampens their excitement. Wait a minute. Just exactly who are you? As I stated before, I am the Guardian, Nadia. I was built 200 years ago to protect the Mother Beacon. And Homura, not Homura, Pino, wide-eyed. 200 years? And Happy, you're a real veteran! And Nadia just smiles at them. I am an old model. And yet, the treasure I am here to guard was lost long ago. I am merely a guide, a guardian in name only. So yeah, I guess because we last chapter Nadia was introduced as the guardian of the Temple of the Mother Beacon, which I guess leads to Mother, if the name is anything to go by. But I guess it was lost, which would make finding Mother much harder, which is kind of what it's important for the story right now. Anyway, although the treasure has been lost, the beacon that leads to Mother remains. Wait, what? Hold on. Rebecca's just as confused as I am. You mean the treasure and the clue to finding Mother are two different things? They are related, but that is correct. They are not the same. This way, please. And she walks forward a little bit, and then her tail seems to catch on something. And she falls. Oh, it looks like the tail it's like a charger cable, maybe. Is that connected to her back? Because she falls flat on her face as the line goes taut. And Rebecca just looks at her shocked. Are you okay? Yes, I am an old model. Which I guess explains why she's okay, or why she fell in the first place. I'm not sure. But Wise asks, what's that cord for? I cannot function without it. I am an old model. Yeah, there we go. The path lies through those doors. You will find the Mother Beacon in the deepest recesses. I will not deny entry to any who wish to start down that path. But I also will not guarantee that you will return alive. Nadia looks up at them, vaguely threatening, I will say. She does not all of a sudden look like she's on their side. And everyone just looks at her for a moment. But Shiki grins. That's not going to stop us. Nadia continues, a warning. Should you feel your lives are in danger, I recommend that you hasten back to this chamber. A piece of advice from an old model. Nothing is to be gained from foolhardiness. And just then the doors open, ushering in their journey to the Mother Beacon. And Shiki, full of vigor, let's go! And the crew heads down the stairs, starting their journey into the temple. And they reach some kind of plant life looking place. There's a lot of like grass amid the stones, these large tree looking things. Um, and then I think this someone sets their feet down on the grass, and we then get a full shot of it's the kind of cavernous too. We see the ceiling now. It's this kind of domed, cavernous looking place. And Happy looks around. A cave? Why is this place inside a temple? Is Pino. But Shiki kind of assuages them, I guess. We'll find a clue to Mother at the end of this cave. And we see Wise like visibly sweating, but boy is it hot in here. And Rebecca's kind of fanning herself. I'm burning up. How are you doing, Homura? Oh, we all know how she's doing. And Homura is like flushed, sweat just like dripping down her. And Rebecca just kind of chuckles to herself. Not well, I guess. 'Tis more training. With a clear mind, even fire will feel cool. This infernal heat shall not defeat me. She runs across the grass, and then it looks like she slips, maybe? Or maybe some of the grass, like, shoots up her leg? I can't really tell. But she winces. And Wise and Rebecca look shocked. And Shiki as well asks, what the? And just then, everything catches on fire. Interestingly enough, right after Homura says, even fire will feel cool, maybe this is some kind of, like, what you imagine comes to life kind of place? I'm not sure. But yeah, we see Homura standing before the roaring flames. Shiki looks around. The walls and the floor and the ceiling are on fire. How are we supposed to get through this? And Rebecca finally puts two and two together. The fire planet, Red Cave. So this is where it gets its name. Homura just collapses. Homura! And now it's time for some mandated Homura, Mashima horniness, as the fire starts to, I think, melt Rebecca's swimsuit? Huh? You're kidding, right? My swimsuit! And they starts to, like, melt away. As is Wise's swim trunks, and he's freaking out. He's too shocked to even have time to be horny right now, which tells you how bad the situation is. Happy and Pino are also just melting. My skin is melting. Abnormal thermostability readings in my system. And Shiki calls back, you guys go back. I'll keep going. And he sets his ether gear to have him just fly through the flames. And Happy just says, of course, Shiki's gravity powers can keep him out of the flame. And Pino calls out, no, Master, don't do it. And just then, Shiki notices something. The fire field is following him. Okay, that's interesting. And then something seems to have changed. Maybe some of the ground is getting mixed up in the flames. Wise seems to know. Wait, that's no fire. That's magma. Temporary retreat. Get to the doors. Run. And so I guess the whole gang runs back to where they started. Barely makes it out. I don't know, back at the entrance, their clothes not in a good state, and, drenched in sweat. Whew. Nadia greets them. Welcome back. There's no possible way to get through that. And Rebecca is, passed out on the ground. Maybe some heat-resistant android. Definitely not me. Happy stops. And Pino responds, running simulation. Results? Charcoal. And Wise turns over to Homura. What about the four shining stars? You fiend. Homura's just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not talking about you. And then Pino starts a video chat, and Sister's on the other end of the line. We've been monitoring, and no, we can't get through that. And Arsenal has the same thermostability functions we do, so he wouldn't make it either. Without Ziggy level armor, there's no way. Alright, so that's kind of sets up what we need. It's a kind of Ziggy level armor. And Nadia chimes in then. You mean the android with the skull mask? Yes, he came and obtained the beacon 15 years ago. And Shiki asks, Grandpa made it through that magma? And he kept going on his quest to find Mother. But then Wise asks, what about Witch? She can use water ether. Oh yeah, right, that's why we called you. The short version is, Witch can't do it either. But she said she has a plan. And Happy, who is seemingly still, like, how are they gonna fix Happy? Because the rest of the group, besides Pino, it's all sweat. But, like, it seems like Happy's skin is melted, right? It's because Happy can't sweat. He's an android. I don't know. Happy's not in a great place right now. Anyway, Happy asked, a plan? And Hermit asked the group, can you stay there on standby for a while? Witch went to Blue Garden. Okay. How far away are the ships? She have to get through Dragonfall and back again. That's a good distance. Why? Shiki asks, and Wise snaps. How far away does she think that place is? But Rebecca calms him. Well, they do have fast travel. And then back on Blue Garden, at the Scheherazade Theater. I don't know what this is going to be about, because I don't know that we know any actors. And then someone's, like, singing on stage, come what may, I'll be back one day, for this is the place I call home. I'll never forget this bright blue planet, no matter how far I roam. Then a woman is also on stage. Am I to believe you? Do you speak true? Come what may, I'll be back one day, you'll be back one day. This is the promise I give to you, you give to me. And the audience all claps. The actors bow. Witch is also in the audience, clapping. Has she sat through this whole, 2-hour show? Because how long has the gang been in the temple? It feels like they've been gone maybe an hour or two. But Witch had time to get back to Blue Garden, watch a musical, and watch a musical? And I didn't have a third thing. But anyway, that concludes tonight's performance. Bravo, everyone. This is Witch, who's come backstage. I see that actors these days can use holograms to change their very faces. And the lead actor notices her and looks back. Only authorized personnel allowed here. And just then, Clean and Chris appear behind him. I didn't expect to find you living out in the open. It has been a long time. And the actor kind of freezes. And his face kind of turns back to whatever it was. Once I've made an enemy, I never stop tracking them. Laguna Husert, Spirit of Water. There we go. That's who can get through this. I knew Laguna would come back to be important. I said that way back when he was getting all of that little signs of his discomfort back during the Belial Gore arc. I was like, he's gonna come back and be important. But anyway, Laguna pauses at hearing Witch say his name. But today I have come to visit you as a friend. Would you be so kind as to help us? And that's where the chapter ends. So yeah, at this point it looks like Laguna will be joining the crew, which was honestly more than I expected. I expected him to be kind of like a periphery character who would occasionally intersect with the main crew, but not as an actual member of the crew. But at this point, he's at least going to be a temporary member of the crew until we get through Red Cave. Just because he would not be brought up here if he was not gonna come join. And yeah, that's, there isn't really too much to say about this chapter besides that final scene, other than, we're just, no one on the team is vaguely equipped to get through the temple. They don't have the fire resistance that Ziggy had and that Laguna has, in order to survive and find the Mother Beacon. So I don't know how long it will take for Laguna to join the crew, but it's pretty much guaranteed that he will at least be there for Red Cave. And if he stays, he stays. If not, he doesn't. I'm not entirely sure how long that will last. I think Chris and Clean are they're gonna stay. They're gonna be permanent crew members. Might take a while before they're happy there, especially with the case of Chris. But eventually they'll be permanent members. Laguna, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be a permanent member of the crew. One thing I will note, though, is that Clean got a new name when she joined up with Draken. Laguna seems to have used his real name. I don't know if that means anything. That's probably, if it means anything, is tied into who gave Clean the hair clips, who was responsible for Clean losing her emotions, or the ability to physically express her emotions. She still has them, as the hair clips testify. So yeah, there's definitely some mystery going on around Clean that knowing Laguna used his real name as an E4 member kind of brings to light. But then yeah, beyond that, there's not really a whole lot to say. You know, we get some the Homer I can't handle the heat gag at its most extreme. I honestly don't know where that gag came from. Like, it just kind of is. And I don't know how it started. It works here. It's pretty funny. But it's one of those things that just kind of is. And then, yeah, we've got Laguna, who will be joining us on Red Cave before too long, I imagine. And then, yeah, there's not a whole lot to say beyond that. It's just kind of setting up the problem of Red Cave, the fact that we don't really have a good way to get past Red Cave, and then introducing a potential solution in Laguna. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this chapter. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. You know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!